if it'll let me. Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are the Men Club, and we are back. Let's get into it. All right. Y'all, we are live again. We hadn't did a live in a while, and I uh felt like, hey man, we've been doing these shows, recording them on Tuesday. Let's go live tonight. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can get some people to talk with us today. Uh First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming. We got Derek and Illy with me again as usual. I appreciate y'all being on tonight. I know y'all got busy schedules, and I appreciate y'all taking the time out to be on here with me today. Uh, Also, I want to tell people that the YouTube channel is still up. We're still running it. Any episodes that you miss, you can go back and watch them on YouTube. And we're also right now on Spotify. You can listen to any of the broadcasts we've had in past or what's coming up this week. Will be this show will be on there tomorrow night. Um, so you can go to Spotify and pull up a Men's Club Let's Talk podcast, and you can listen to any of the shows. We're also on Anchor, same thing. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple. If you got Apple iTunes, I think it is, we own that too. So you just gotta look it up, and then you can listen to, like I said, any podcast. This one will be on there probably tonight or tomorrow, probably by tomorrow afternoon. And I think and also one more thing, this show is being sponsored by mensclub.com. Go on there and take a peek. You might see a t-shirt design that you like. And if you got a t-shirt design that you just want on a shirt, let me know. Give me a call, send me an email, send me a text message, something. My number's on there. You can call me and we can talk about it and we can discuss it, and I can get it, get it to you as soon as possible. Christmas is coming up, so um yep, this week will probably be the last week that I can probably get it to you on time if it's a Christmas present. So, but that being said, let's go ahead and start the show. Father God, we thank you for watching over us and keeping us safe. We thank you once again, Lord, for our voices to be heard, Lord, on this platform. We hope and pray, Lord, that something that we say, the words that come out of our mouth, something that we have experienced will affect somebody somewhere, Father. That's why we do this. And in your name, Father, we move forward. And I just want to thank y'all. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So I asked a question on the Men's Club web group page I think about a week or so ago. And I asked, if you could go back and talk to yourself any age between the age of 12 and 16. I know a lot of questions that I need to answer started when I was about 12, all the way up to 16. If I had an older me guiding me, knowing what was to come, what would I want him to tell? So, what would you tell yourself between the ages of 12 and 16, outside of investing money or saving money, or outside of any money issues? What would you tell yourself? A lot of y'all commented on there. It was some great comments on there about chasing the bag and not women. Seeking God and not women. A lot of the answers I got. A lot of y'all answered on Messenger as well. A lot of the answers I got had to do with women. And I was sitting there thinking about myself, I wonder why that is. Is that an issue in our community for men that, you know, we chase women out of something that we learned or something that we seen? Because that's something that I always, had a I won't say had an issue with, but I didn't understand that ain't something that you're supposed to do. I had to learn later on in life that chasing women wasn't necessary. it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it wasn't necessarily the best thing because if you put chasing women over everything else, then you ain't got time to do nothing else. So but that's something that I had to learn as I grew up because I grew up watching dudes chase women and having 2 or 3 women, and I thought that was being a man. So, but I was just surprised that some of the answers that I got, most of them had something to do with chasing women. So I'm opening up the floor. I also posted the link to this show on the group page. So if y'all want to join in, you'll pop up down here at the bottom of my screen, and I can click you in and help us discuss this. So I'm gonna start with the guys. Hey guys, tell me what y'all think. Either one of y'all.
You can go ahead, is
All right. Um, if I could go back and tell my 12 to 16-year-old self, it would be simple. Like I tried to do with my boys as they were growing up. Enjoy being a kid. Enjoy being a kid. I told my boys that from a young age because guess what? You're only gonna be that kid for like 18 years. You got 50, 60, 70 years to be an adult, to be a grown man. So while
Yeah.
you're a young man, a young teenage boy, enjoy enjoy the fruits of life that is given to you as a young boy to where you're not looking at adulthood as you done skipped over your childhood trying to be a man and not really seeing the whole picture that involves with being a man, the whole picture of responsibility that is involved with being a man, whether you're doing good or you make mistakes and got to recover from. So
yeah.
Yeah.
if I could go back and tell my young self anything, the first thing I would tell my young self is enjoy being a kid at that age and time because guess what? It's only gonna last 18 years. After that, you're what considered a young adult. So now those childish things that we talk about, as adults that men need to put down childish things when they become a man. Guess what? A lot of times men skipped over their childhood trying to be a man before time, and then once they become a man and realize that it was some things that they didn't get or they didn't receive or they didn't enjoy when they was a child, not as a man, they trying to go back and relive it, and that window has closed. And then as far
Hmm.
as um, chasing young girls or however you want to put it, um, a lot of times, whether we honest about it or not, women, women, I'm talking to the women dictate how men respond. Women dictate how men respond. If you look at society as a whole, women dictate. And I will be one of those men that would say, at young age, girls do mature faster than boys because guess what? They're looking at being an adult faster than boys to where it's like an overnight switch for boys that comes on to where you're going from a boy now you want to be a man because you done took your eyes off of playing and you're looking at girls. But if young girls was to be honest, they were looking at relationships at a young age to where the young boys wasn't. So to me, in so many areas, women dictate how men carry themselves and how men respond to them. Because nowadays, okay, if a woman said that, if women as a whole said that they didn't like guys in skinny jeans, guess what you wouldn't see? You wouldn't see guys in skinny jeans. So in my opinion of it is, as a young man, me, I would tell myself to enjoy being a child, enjoy being a young teenager, because once you are an adult, guess what? You can't go back and get those years. You can make mistakes as an adult, and you got years to make up for it. But when you don't try something or don't do something as a young man, as a teenager, you can't go back after you're 25 and say, I want to get that 15-year-old thing that I lost. It's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I would tell my young self to enjoy those teenage years because they're only going to happen for 18 years.
Okay, okay. Let me play devil
Absolutely.
advocate for a minute. I
Hmm.
agree with you, but let me say this. From talking to my son, I have realized that I don't think the girl necessarily dictate to boys anymore like they used to. You know, in our era when we were growing up, you know, if a girl say if girls said that they didn't like seeing dudes do such a thing, we would switch up. You know what I'm saying? We would adjust to
Hmm.
that.
I thought
But
we was talking about our era.
oh well, yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
you would be telling yourself that. That's right. That's true. That's true. But I was just going to say nowadays it ain't the same because it's like the boys do stuff to impress other boys. They don't really do stuff to impress girls anymore like they
That's
used
a
to.
whole nother topic right there, Saint Boy.
Yeah, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. All right, Derek. Let me hear you. What would you
Mm,
tell yourself, man?
I mean, if I remember right, I think my comment on that post was that I would tell my 12 to 16-year-old self to live your life. Um,
Yeah,
Too many times, I guess just from growing up, you worry about what folks say. And if I could tell my 12 to 16-year-old self, you can't necessarily worry about what folks say because folks gonna talk about you regardless. You know, they're gonna have their picks and chooses. Uh, they'll form an opinion about you, whether you angel or devil. So that would be my thing is enjoy your life, enjoy your childhood. You know, I wouldn't want to be in some of the situations that I was in because like literally I felt like Brian, you were right next door to me. I felt like I had to be grown before I was ready to be grown.
yeah,
So, it's kind of like, a lot of those formative years that you need, development and the after school activities and all that stuff. 12 to actually the 15, 18-year-old me, I was up there sacking groceries at Tundes. Did I actually
yeah.
have to do it? No, I didn't have to do it, but it was drilled in me to be independent. Get your own bag at such
Yeah.
an early age. And now, like, man, I've got a lot extra years of work than some other folks, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because it kind of gets you ready for life. But at the same time, was I really ready for that? Did I want to put my drumsticks down? No, I didn't. Um, but I felt that I had to, and that's what I would tell. I would even tell your son, uh, man, and enjoy. Um, because you gonna fall, you gonna make mistakes. Whether you bring home straight A's or straight D's, or you dress in suits every day, or your wear your pants hang around your ankles. Folks gonna talk about you anyway. So it don't matter. Do you enjoy you, um, and live the life that you want to live. Because once you get out there and get grown, that's when the reality set in. And you know, the 18-year-old me that was sitting on the military base saying, "Dog, whew, where them years go? It's gone." Man, like literally, I never even went to a homecoming dance. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it looked like. I don't have a clue because I was sacking groceries.
I understand. I remember us having a conversation about this actually. I think our senior year in high school. I remember you and I talking about that. Yeah. Let's see.
I would say if I could say something before you do your Brian, I can
Mhm.
relate to what Derek was saying, as far as being that young kid and it I guess, the way I was brought up, I was brought up to where it was like, I had to work. That was what the mindset was that was given to me. And when um I would never forget this, guys. It was the last day of school. I was getting out of seventh grade, getting ready. We was going to go to Tri County. And Tri County was a big thing for us because it was three counties going to that school, to where we coming out of a
Yeah.
small school to where you went 7, 8 years to the same with the same people all the way up till you got to Tri County. So it was like I'll never forget it. It was like the last day of school in seventh grade. We was all talking about how we had the jitters and scared we was going to Tri County next year and all this kind of stuff. And I got home, and we had on the bus talking about what we were gonna do during the summer and all this kind of stuff. And I never forget when I got home and I walked in the door, excited after I got off the bus, ready to throw my bag in the trash and enjoy the summer. And the first thing my mom mouth was, "I got you a job." I'm like, "A job?" You
Yep.
know, I'm a seventh grader, so I'm like, "A job?" We hadn't even talked about this. Where is this coming from? And so I'm like, well, guess what? I'm just in the seventh grade, so I'm just getting out of seventh grade. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have a few weeks before it starts. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have a few weeks before it starts. When did it start? Monday morning. What? So this Friday.
Oh,
So I got 2 days before I start a full-time job. And guess what, y'all? I have been working ever since.
yeah.
Then, I was playing ball. I tried to play. I was working at the school in the afternoon, going to school, getting out after school, go to work. And then basketball, I had to pick a sport. So basketball, I was picking basketball as my sport. And I'll never forget, I had went out there, did everything that I needed to do. And I think my mom didn't think I was gonna make the team. And I made the team, and kind of bit the bullet on that one and let me kind of stayed out there for that. But then football season rolled around and I said I wanted to, I had kind of got into sports so I could do it good. So I'm thinking that, okay, I'm gonna go out for varsity football. I never forget, we was riding uptown, and my mom's exact words were, either you can play ball and not have money in your pocket, or you can work and have money in your pocket. It's your decision.
Man, that sounds
So to
familiar.
me, to me, that was no decision. So that wasn't no decision. And then on top of that, it wasn't no decision. And then on top of that, check this out. I only signed my paycheck one time the whole time I worked at the school. After that, I would just come home and just give it to my mom and my dad. And whatever they gave me, they gave me. So, it was like, you kind of thinking that you're a kid, but you having adult responsibilities, and then you're really not having the total guidance of what young boys should have, and especially at their adolescent years. And then guess what? Only thing left now, you already working like an adult. So if everybody's not paying attention to what they're supposed to, you find yourself doing adult stuff that you can't wind up taking back once you make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
So that's why I say, for young men to enjoy being a teenager, enjoy being an adolescent, because guess what? When you start trying to do adult stuff, guess what? There's adult consequences behind your action. And we seeing that more and more nowadays with these younger kids, especially with these gun violence, with this shooting and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
once you make those decisions, you can't take those back. Now that even though that you still that young kid or that young child or that adolescent, guess what? You now made an adult decision, and some of these adult decisions come with adult repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just like if you can't take back a rock after you throw it, you sure can't take back a bullet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was, you said something then, man. Don't you put in a position where you having to respond to stuff like an adult, some things anyway, and kind of being left to yourself to.
Yeah.
I always say it kind of raise yourself. My mom did the best she could do, what I'm saying, with me. I think she had this thing that she thought that she had to be rough with me because my dad wasn't around. I had my granddad, I had y'all daddies, I had my uncles, and all that stuff. I had more than enough role models around, or men around anyway, to kind of keep me on the path of manhood per se. But I think she always felt like she had to show authority because she thought I had a big personality. Y'all know. I mean, I got a big personality,
Yeah.
and when I think I'm right, I'm finna go all in. You know what I'm saying? And that I can imagine her as a single parent trying to raise me probably wasn't that easy. You know what I'm saying? So I give her prop. So I think she was
Right.
rough with me because she felt like she had to be. Which made me want to be independent. They going somewhere. My sister, my mom, and my stepdad would be out. I didn't want to go with them. I made
Yeah.
the choice. I didn't want to go with them. I was doing my own thing. And working on the farm with my granddaddy. They used to. I think they tricked us. 'Cause, drive driving tractors and stuff for fun. When we were little and growing up. Then all of a sudden it was like plow that field. You know,
It was responsible. It went
plow
from
that.
fun to responsibility.
Yeah, it went from fun to responsibility.
Yep.
So we got tricked. We got tricked. We used to get paid, but we got tricked though. I felt like I got tricked anyway, because man, they would have me driving cars and driving tractors and trucks and stuff. And oh man, I used to come. I remember I used to come back home and tell y'all, man, I drove it. Man, you ain't drove no truck.
Yep.
Stop lying. You know,
That's
man, I
hey,
drove a
hey,
tractor
that's
today.
so what I said. I said,
Yeah,
man, I said, Brian, you a damn lie.
yeah. They used to cuss me out all the time, man. Stop lying. Stop lying. I'm like, man, I'm serious. You just don't know how much fun I was having out there. But yeah, man. So I understand, man, when it stopped being fun, when I used to go feed the chickens and all this stuff in the morning time. We got
Yeah.
there. They had several ponds. I used to have to go feed the fish. And, like I said, that stuff was fun when I was little because they used to let me drive. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
man, the older I got, the more it became a responsibility, and I was expected to do this stuff. I ain't have to
Right.
ask no more. I just get out the truck, and I knew what my job was. So,
Right. Right. Right.
but
Right.
I what I had said for what I would tell myself from 12 to 16, I know one of them was that one. I don't remember exactly what I said. I know one of them was, telling myself that I was good enough. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I was good enough. I ain't have to fake the phone. I ain't have to try to follow people. I was good enough to lead. You know what I'm saying? That was an issue with me when I was younger, that, I always felt like I had to fall in with a crowd instead of somebody falling in my crowd. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was trying to, I was a undercover people pleaser. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, and that was my thing, because I wanted to be, I ain't necessarily want to be popular. I just want people to like me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
thing
Right.
was, my other thing was, it's okay to be good at stuff. I used to dumb down a lot of stuff because I ain't want nobody to know I was smart. One, first of all, you know, I ain't want nobody to know I was smart. And second of all, when I found something that I was actually good at, I ain't really want nobody to know about it. I like baseball. I want to play baseball. I had a good fastball. Either you know that, man. You played catch before. I had a fastball I did work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I was invited to come play baseball. Somebody else got wind of it. They saw me throwing. He not timed it, but he, put the little gun on it to see how fast it
Yeah.
was. I was throwing it at 90 miles per hour at 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what that would have led to? But because I was around people who like, that ain't what we do. We don't do them type of sports. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So,
Oh yeah.
or I mean, that's what I was told. We don't do them type of sports. What you doing that for? Ain't nobody out there, but other folks. So what you trying to do? You trying to be one of them? You know what I'm saying? And that whole, them whole, you know, and this was from not one person, it was from several people that I kind of, you know, I didn't lose interest in it, but I was like, I can't get caught out there. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, you know, it's okay to be good at stuff. You know, you don't have to dumb yourself down and you don't have to follow. You know what I'm saying? Be bold enough to stand up and be you. You know, when you being yourself and people are around you, they around you because you being you, not because you can give them something, not because you laugh at their jokes, not because you know, just somebody they can hang around and depend on you to do stuff for them when they don't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? If I could tell myself that at 12, my teenage years would have been way better.
Yeah.
You know, so if I understood that, if I could receive that.
Yeah.
You know, so I
You
always
know,
tell my son the same thing. You know, you don't have to follow. You know, it's okay to lead.
yeah.
You know, so
That's you
but
know,
that's
that's
what mine
something
was.
that there, and I'm glad you said that, because you know that's something that, you know, I've been telling my grandbaby for a while now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she 19, and I've been telling her that for 10 years now, since I came into her life. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be a follower.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and rob a bank, no, don't you draw the plans. Don't follow
Right,
somebody else's plan.
right,
You
right.
you be you be the one making the plan to rob the bank.
Yeah.
Don't follow anybody else's footsteps. The last time I checked, when you walking down the beach, that footstep, yo,
Yeah.
ain't nobody else's foot gonna fit in that footstep. So
Right.
when you carve your own path, and go with it. You know, like, in, you know, hindsight 2020, because it was some bumps and bruises along the way, literally bumps and bruises along the way. But
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened that way. Cause
Yeah.
like today, I don't know if Anthony Sims watching, and Jeffrey and Anthony. I'm glad they jumped me getting off the bus. I'm glad to this day, because
I think
it taught me something.
yeah.
It taught me I had to fend for me. Because
Yeah.
you gotta think,
Yeah.
I got an uncle 6 years older than me. He closest one. At the time, Brian, you were living, you were riding the other bus. So
Yeah. Yeah. We was on two different
I had to
buses.
duke it up. Yeah. And some stupid stuff came out my mouth. Uh, and I got hit in my eye and came home like this. And Daddy said, "Boy, did you even spit at him?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, you gonna go fix it tomorrow." Say,
Yeah.
you either go fight them or you gotta fight me.
Hey man, you know Jeffrey and Anthony, man, y'all know we cool. But boy, I
Man,
think
I love them.
y'all fought everybody in the neighborhood at some point.
You know, all
And
right.
you ain't gonna never fight one and not fight the other one.
But the thing is, that's how it's
You had to
supposed to be.
fight all them cats. Yeah,
That's
you
what
had to
it's
fight
supposed to
all
be.
them cats.
Yeah.
All of them. I mean, I think me and Nat got into it one time, and I had to fight all three of them jokers.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, man? For the life of me, 2 minutes after, I think Dad asked me, "What would y'all fight about?" I don't know.
I don't know
I don't
neither.
know.
I have no idea what we fought about. Man, that was a long time ago, man.
And it was like one of those things to where, you know, they learn at an early age how to be the other one's reflex. So like
Yeah.
soon you dump one on the ground, that one was tired. So then here comes somebody else and that rested up. So they knew how to wear you down.
Yeah.
And by the time you got that, you out of gas. When they see they done wore you down, then they leave you alone. You're like, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Hey,
And you know what though?
Like, you know, and those are important life lessons, because, like, literally right now, if those were in those same, like, in today's times, that could have been a gun. It could have been a knife.
Yeah.
I'll
But you
take
know,
a
that's
black eye and a bloody nose any day.
I'm
Over
telling you,
there.
man, we never thought I had access to all types. My granddaddy had all types of guns in the house. I
Yeah.
never in my life thought about grabbing a gun and taking it to school. Never.
Because
And get
you
what?
knew better.
And they wasn't locked up
You
either.
knew better.
No. I knew where every last one of them was.
Yep.
They weren't locked up.
Yep. And it's just like
Nope.
Derek just said, you knew better because you knew, get what?
Oh yeah.
You knew something that was walking, sleeping, breathing in the house that was more powerful than that gun.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
Nah, I
that
couldn't play with it like
whoever
that.
told you, you better not touch it.
You not touch it.
You better not
Doggone
touch
right.
it.
Nope. And showed her how to shoot and everything. You know, I knew how to use it well, but man, never, ever.
And
Not
you
one
think,
time.
I think that part of that thing of showing young men how to be independent.
Yep.
Because if you look
Yeah.
at a lot of these situations where these kids are doing the things that they're doing right now, you can tell they were having a lot of personal issues that they wasn't able to deal with or didn't have someone that they could go to deal with them. And
Yeah.
that's the thing of being open. You know, I always, like somebody be like, man, whenever I see you now, your youngest son is always with you. And I tell them like this here, I've learned that, God didn't just put you on the earth just to be a man. If
Yeah.
he put kids in your life, guess what? He have set you up to where you can give these young kids, these young boys, the answer to the test of life when it comes to making mistakes. You can't tell them all the right answer, but I can tell you which ones are the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is
Oh,
our
we done.
responsibility. Go ahead.
No, I was just finna say, between the three of us and the other members of the men's club, man, there is no reason whatsoever that we as this group of men can't guide a young man into adulthood and keep him on the straight path, because we've all made those mistakes. I mean, we have made, if we can get them to listen, that's just listen.
Yeah.
We don't do this show is per se for the young people. If they want to watch it, it's there. But I mainly want to talk to the people in the group and other men that'll watch. Even women. That's my target. That's our target audience is men our age and women that don't have a man around for their young kids. Just to let you know, one, there are good men on the earth. There are good black men in this world. Stop listening to the bull. We ain't all taken. We ain't all trash. We are three men who are married, got kids, and we see about our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? If
The
I
thing
see
is,
other,
Brian, it don't mean
go
you're
ahead.
perfect.
No,
It
no,
don't
no,
mean you're
not by a long
perfect.
shot.
Because
No, not
man,
by a long
dog,
shot.
I fell short 2 minutes ago. But you know, that's the whole thing. You know, and that goes back to when I was talking about that, what I could tell that 12, 16-year-old me is, man, you gonna fall short. You gonna make
Yeah.
mistakes. I mean,
Yep.
the only thing I can say is that good mom and dad had to come get me out of prison or get me out of jail. And but other than that, I just didn't get caught.
Right.
Hey, I was close to
Yeah,
it a
I didn't
couple
get
times.
caught.
Right.
Uh,
I told my son
yeah,
this right here. He likes old trucks. He got a. I asked, like, son, you getting ready to drive? I know we got to get you something. What do you want? And I had went and bought me an old '96 4-wheel drive. That was just something I wanted. I just wanted me an old
Yeah,
4-wheel drive truck. Started to fix it up when he got old enough where he started getting his license, and I'm just asking what he want. He never would say. Then he finally said, and I had even named the truck. I had gave the truck that the name that my granddaddy used to call me when I was a kid before he died, and it was Goop. So
yeah,
I named the truck Goop. So
yeah.
make a long story short, when he finally came up, I asked him about it. He finally came up and said, "I want Goop, Dad." got hot now. I ain't gonna lie to y'all now. I was hot because you said you wanted goose. I'm like, man, I got that from me. You need to pick what you want. So
Yeah.
I use that truck as an example for him. You know, it ain't it had like a little few dings in it, had some scratches on it, you know, a little rough spot. And I told him just like that. I said, that truck right there is just like how you need to look at yourself in life. And he was like, what's that, Dad? I said, you're gonna have bumps and bruises in your life, but them bumps and bruises are there to give you character to become the man that God wants you to be. That's
Yeah.
what that's what those bumps and bruises are.
That's
That's what
true.
those scratches you're gonna get. Because guess what? Every man can have the same situation you had and not have the same bruise or the same scratch or the same dent that you had. Because guess what? Y'all are two different people. Even though you went through the same situation, your scarring is different. And I said those scars is what's going to make you be the man that you're going to be when it's time for you to step up and pass on those traits that you've learned in life down to your kids, or just a young man that's willing to listen at what you got to say. You know, a lot of times young men and even young girls nowadays, when people are talking, we've so into these phones to where we want everything to be spontaneous. Because guess what? It don't nothing happen spontaneous that's going to give you character. Character is something that is grown in you. That's something that's nurtured throughout your life to where you still to build on it.
Yeah. Yep. I
Hey,
concur. I concur.
somebody said, can't tell who it is, but that a good book states that a wise man falls 7 times.
Yeah. That's
It's
why I put
more than
that up
that.
there.
It's more than that.
Yeah, and that
Man,
was the other thing
hey,
when you was talking about being independent. You know, Tyrone had said
yeah,
that's what he would tell himself to be independent and be independently and live your dream.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's another thing, man. You know, I and I don't take that away from my parents, man. You know, they taught us what they knew. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of
Right.
people
Right.
in
Right.
our community didn't get a lot of encouragement to go after your dream. You know, it was all about
right,
Right.
getting a job, you know, getting the best job you possibly get, you know, so when you
Right.
start having kids and stuff, you can take care of your responsibility.
Yeah. Right.
That was the main thing when we were growing up.
Right.
You know, nobody ever said if you got a dream, go work hard and make it happen.
yeah,
You know, I never heard it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know,
Right. Right.
not that they weren't supportive, they just they mindset when at the point where they can tell you, you know, how to go after your green dreams and go after them aggressively. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah. So I was I what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that, you know, it was a stigma in our community that, you know, that your main goal in life was to just go to work. You know what I'm saying? So that just was the thing. Whether you was,
yeah.
12, 16, or a grown man, go to work. Tourist say instant gratification is what this generation wants. Yeah,
That's true.
but like I said, I was telling y'all earlier, I was having a conversation with my son about, you know, I remember a time when I was growing up that we didn't even have no phone in the house. You know, we was talking about cell phones and stuff, and he was like, "Man, I don't see how y'all made it without cell phones." You know, I was like, "Man, I remember a time when we didn't have no phone in the house. Period." You know, and I
Right.
was saying that, my mama's phone number ain't changed in 40 years. You know, so about
Yep.
40 years, about 30, maybe
Right.
35. But and we didn't have, he was like, "So what did y'all do when y'all want to go to y'all friend house? Y'all didn't call, y'all couldn't, did you call on the phone?" I said, "No, you just went on there and knocked on the door. Hey,
Yep.
Yep. You ask and walk.
can
Yep.
Derek come outside? You know what I'm saying? Or here, can he come outside? You know, you didn't
If it
never
was
really
no,
ask to
you
go
turn around
in
and walk back home.
and walk
Yep.
go to somebody else's house.
Right.
You
Yep.
know,
Go knock on somebody else though.
that's how we did it. You had to walk. We walked all the time. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
hardly
Yeah.
ever sat down. I can remember being on my feet all day long.
Yeah.
You know, because
'Cause
we never really sat down. We just walked.
I saw Vince Sunday. He was up at Dollar General getting gas. He was like, "Hey, I remember all the times of riding them big old bicycles." Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Yep.
Jump the ditch on them big old iron horses.
Hey man.
Hey,
You
you know
said
something
that.
to think about. You know something you think
You know
about.
what I'm finna say though.
As a kid, well, be.
He said, jump the ditch in the big old bike. I said, you know what I'm finna say though, man. I had took my sister bicycle one time, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they hill right there by our house. You come down in that ditch right there next to Derek no house, and then it was our driveway, then another ditch, right?
Yep.
So on Derek no side of the ditch, we call ourselves built a ramp, right? He was gonna jump the ditch. Man, I came down that hill, boy. I was getting it, man. I was getting it. Went up in the air, whoo, and the front tire came off. I had to make a decision: either stay on and try to flip over or ditch it. So I had to ditch it. I ditched that bad boy, took the road.
Oh man!
As soon as he said that, man, that's the first thing I thought about.
Hey, you know something? You know something like when we were kids growing up, and you know how we would walk. You would go to see if you go to one friend's house and they couldn't come out. You would go to the next friend's house, they could come out, and then you had to remind them, "Hey, I went over to Derek's house. He can't come out, so I ain't no need to go on over there."
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go this way. And then now,
Yep.
I said that to say this: you when we was that age, when you remember being that age, your parents caught the devil with trying to get you to get in a car because you always wanted to walk or ride your bicycle where you were going.
Yeah,
it ain't like that nowadays with the kids. It ain't.
No.
You know, it's one of those things to where I look at those times and I look at now. Back to what you were saying, Brown, about the different generations. Every generation did the best that they could. We're not knocking any generation for how they raise their children, because guess what? Back then when time was when black people were starting out, the only thing you had other than your name when you could carry your name was your pride. So men had their pride, and that's what has led us to the point to where we are now, to where guess what? Everything started out with name and pride. And back when we were growing up, most men, they were prideful, and they had their name, and they just knew the work, and because they wasn't put in position to where they probably even knew what their dream was, to turn around and say, "Hey, when you grow up, hey, follow your dreams," because they don't even know what a dream was, because everything, when they laid down to get up, they laid down to go to work, and they got up to go to work.
Yep. Now you said something then. And I know my mama was one of them people, man, having me at an early age like she did, it was, I found out some information that she had told me and I ain't even know. Oh man, I was hurt. Then at the same time, I was grateful. She's like, like I said, everybody knows she's been on the show, and she said it before. She had me when she was 15 years old. What I didn't know was that they was trying to make her either terminate or give me away. You know what I'm saying? I did not know that. Never heard it. Nobody ever brought it up. And like I said, I was hurt, and then I was grateful at the same time, because my great grandmama was like, "No, she gonna raise." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "Whew, boy, that can't close. I can't close not being here."
Well, you got to say that, because shoot, my mom was 16 when she had me. 16. My grandmama practically raised me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get in a relationship to my dad until my preteens. So
I remember you telling me that.
It was so it was like a different relationship between me, my mom, and dad compared to my brother and my sister and my mom and dad. Because I was around when both of them was making mistakes, to where my brother and sister never saw never saw that side of them. So it was like, sometimes, they would always question. Every now and then they would always question, well, well, why he get to do this, or why he get to do that, why we can't. I couldn't explain to them at that time the difference between me and them. Well, because
Yeah.
why we got to call you mama and he called you Nita. It was a different time.
Yeah.
I don't know what was that just a country thing, man, because I grew up calling my mom by her name. It went to I got grown and I actually realized, that's a little disrespectful. Let me just start calling her mom. You know what I'm saying? Because I called her Linda for years growing up.
Now,
And
I promise you, I don't know if my mama watching now. Let me say Ozella.
and I wouldn't even call your mama Ozella. I would be like Mama O or something,
Man.
I never did. I wouldn't even call, but my mama, I don't know if that was just a country thing or it's just because they had us so young that we was around our uncles and aunties like brothers and sisters. And when they called her Linda, I was calling her Linda.
Now,
You know what I'm
that's the
saying?
only thing. Now, I don't really none of my aunts and uncles ain't it is something that it's first name because we all kind of close in age. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. But
That's
man, I
what
say
I
that's
ain't
that stuff that when you think about it, like literally, you can have a group of folks from Newtown and the bottom. We could write a heck of a book.
I'm trying to tell you. Me
Like,
and Marion had started at one
yeah,
point, man. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I I, I put my hand to God now. You know who my idol was of the team?
Ooh.
Tubby.
Tell me what the coolest thing walking, man.
Tubby was the Joker out there.
I'm trying to
Like I
tell
said,
you.
man, I said, I'm gonna be just like that when I grow up. I'm gonna have me a Trans Am just like that.
Yeah, man. Tell me what the coolest thing in elevator. I'm telling you.
Man.
Telling you.
Yes,
Man, the coolest thing in elevator.
yes.
If anybody watching that get in touch with Tubby, y'all tell him what we said, man.
Man.
I don't even know if he know how much he impressed us as kids. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He had
Yes.
the cool car. He had he had a cool walk. He was just cool, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
I used to
He
he used to
he
remind me
had
of
that
Prince.
had that didn't quite curl.
Yeah.
but it looked good though. It looked good though. It
But
looked
it
good.
looked good though. It looked good on him.
Yeah,
Man, shoot. Well, Tubby had that soul glow.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We've been on here for a good little while. We're gonna go ahead and end this. Like I said, man, I opened up the link. I don't know if it worked or not. Y'all let me know. Send me a message. Let me know. Say, hey, I couldn't get on, or I want more of the men club group. I want more of y'all to start being on these shows, whether we live or whether we record. So from this point on, I'm gonna start posting the link on the men's club group. So if you want to come in, if you don't want to show your face but you want to talk, you can put up icons if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think let me see
Yeah,
about
like
there
that
you
one.
go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can put up an icon, so we can just hear your voice. So if you want to do that, feel free to comment. I can see
Yeah,
all three of us can see the comments. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We can see the comments on the side. I click on them and pop them on the screen sometime. But I really want this to be a thing, y'all. So I want us to be a little bit more engaged if possible. Um, I don't know. This may become a Tuesday night event. Depends on whether or not we all able to get on. But like I said, if more people start getting on, we'll do this every Tuesday evening, You know, and we can they be recorded so we can always play them back. It'll probably be available on YouTube tomorrow. It'll also be available on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, uh, Google Podcasts. I think it's one more. It's one I'm missing. I'm not sure, but the more views, the more time, more people listen, more views we get on YouTube. It only helps the channel. This is about us be engaging with other men so they can engage their sons, their daughters, or your neighbor, whoever that don't have a father figure in their life, or if they got a father figure in their life and they just need a friend. They just need somebody they can trust to talk to. A young man going through, you know, childhood and then adulthood without any male
Mhm.
guidance, I'm telling you, it don't turn them into great men. I'm just telling you, it don't. I know the struggles I had growing up, I had men present, but without having that connection, that one dude I can trust to tell me the truth about everything without being judged. You know what I'm saying? I could tell them anything without being judged. It didn't come till later on in life. Well, at least I didn't realize I had somebody like that until later on in life. He's gone.
But see
He's passed
that
now, but
thing, and I'll tell you that, Brian, and that's why I love you. I love you not only because you're my cousin, but I've always been able to come to you
oh
with
yes, sir.
everything from as
Yes,
far
sir.
back as I can remember. Whether
Yes,
there was
sir.
trouble at home, there was trouble in my love life, uh, whatever. I mean, literally, if I got something, I'm gonna pick up the phone or I'm gonna try to find you. Because I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes we could just ride down the road and you be like, "Hey, what? Yeah." And then the number one question you would ask, why?
Why?
I
that's
don't know.
that's usually that's usually my answer. Well, not
Yeah.
my answer, but that's usually my question every time
Yeah.
is why.
For
You know, I
4 years, my answer been, I don't know. What 8 years?
I
And
Right.
I
counting.
yeah. I've learned that most of the time when you have an issue, if you just stop and ask yourself, okay, why is this happening?
Yeah.
What did I do to contribute to this other person being upset or unhappy? Did I do something? You know what I'm saying? Can I recall what I did? Because a lot of time with me, I have to remember what I said or what I did because I get to flying and popping off sometime, not knowing why, an hour later, my wife upset. Like, okay, what I do, what I say. Most of the time, the one good thing about having a great relationship with my wife is her and I can talk about stuff. No, if I say
Yeah.
what's wrong and she don't answer, I know to leave her alone. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Let her stew, let her, get
Yeah.
past it, and then we can talk about it. She'll tell me what I did that pissed her off or what I did that offended her. And we move past it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm all about, somebody called me Zen one day. I ain't really what you would call Zen, but I because believe me when I tell you, it's still fire in the belly, man. You just, you crossed me wrong.
Yeah.
Just go put it to you like that, But I was asked a question, just in a casual conversation, man. A guy asked me a question, and I just basically said the same thing. Why? Tell me why. He sat there and he thought about it for a minute. He started telling me this. I said, "Well, there your answer right there." He like, man, I ain't even think about it like that. It's like
Yeah.
he said, and the only thing you asked me, well, why? Why? If we start asking ourselves that question more often, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I, why my life going the way it's going? The usually the common denominator be you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
what you missing? Try to find out what you're missing. Try to find out what's wrong. Like I said, I'm far from perfect. Believe me, I'm far from perfect. I'm a long way from perfect. I'm probably a long way from getting into heaven. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I I I have learned things over my years of living that I'm so glad that I learned. That some people hit me too, and if, like I said, I started doing this because God told me to do it. The end. Ain't no other explanation for it. I ain't don't want to be on YouTube. I definitely want to be live on Facebook talking about things that happened in my life. Oh yeah, that was the
Right.
other thing. That was the other thing that I said I'm gonna tell myself. Don't worry about what people think of you. That was the last one I had on the list. Don't worry about what people think of you. Like Derek said, people gonna hate or like you regardless of what you say and do. You know what I'm saying? You have absolute no control over that. And if I had known that as a young man and knew that it was okay for me to just be me and not worry about what nobody else thought, stop trying to make people like me. That was the thing. I wanted people to like. But once I got to a point where I stopped worrying about what people thought about me and start worrying about what I thought people knew about me, and just being me. You can think what you want to. I really don't care. I have absolute zero to give you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, think what you want to. I'm doing what God told me to do. I fought it, didn't want to do it, but I'm doing it. So I'm trying to be obedient in my later years in life. And when God talks to me or when I get a message or he give me that that I need you to do this. I have learned there's no need to fight. Just do it. Do it to the best of my ability, and everything else that's supposed to fall in place, and you normally fall in place. Okay, one more thing before we go. The t-shirts, man. I don't know how quick I can get stuff out right now, but if you contact me and you want something on a t-shirt, hey, let me know. I'm still doing t-shirts and our men club t-shirts and in a custom t-shirt. If you got something else you want in there, there's some more designs on the website. If you haven't been on there in a minute, you go check them out. Might be something you want to grab. But always, if you got something you want to put on a shirt, excuse me, y'all, it ain't no problem. Just let me know. Tell me what you want. Show me what you want. I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to put up some type of t-shirt where you can draw on it, and like kind of give me an idea what you looking to put on there. I'm trying to get hoodies, y'all. Everything backed up in the docks out in California. It's hard to get shirts. It's hard to get hoodies. I ain't find nobody that got a good price. People that got them, they shot them up 3 or 4 times the price they was, in the summer. So yeah, I don't know about the hoods. I can't do no hoodies, y'all. I'm sorry. But anyway, with that being said, y'all, we gonna
Let me
thank you
say this,
for.
B.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before you close out, if it was one more thing that I would say to any young man, including myself, growing
Mm-hmm.
up, is people will look at you and try to assume that they know everything about you, but can't
Mm-hmm.
answer the problems in their own lives. So
Yes,
with
sir.
that being said, just like Derek said, live your best life. Cause guess what? God only bless you with one.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm going on 50
That's
years
it.
old, man, and I'm telling you, these 50 years been a learning experience, man. If I could take back everything I learned on these 50 years and put that on a 12-year-old, he will never go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, I
Yep.
won't even say he won't ever go wrong, but he'll sure be better off. Man, he'd
Yeah.
be better off if he knew the
Yeah.
things I do now. The stuff I could have avoided, man, the money I could have made, the life my kids would have or my wife would have. She wouldn't have to be working every day. I mean, just it ain't just monetary, man. Just relationships that I've lost over the years that was avoidable. What I'm saying? It was just flat out avoidable. Just because somebody said this and somebody said that, and you mad at me about something I don't even know you mad about. Just relationships that I lost, man, that I would like to have back. And
Okay.
what up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? What up, Mike Carter?
Big
and
Mike from the wood.
What's up,
and
Leonard?
another here. And Patrick.
What's up,
What up,
Pat?
Patrick?
What's
Thank you,
Now
going
man.
on,
I
I
Patrick?
appreciate
will
it.
I like thing, Brian, that's gonna be it for me. Um,
Okay.
the main purpose of this is to reach one, teach one.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm asking for one. I want one person that they need help with their child,
Mm-hmm.
um, not just financially. And I'm not I will be there, definitely be a part of the men's club group doing this, and this is just for me personally. If you have a child, son, daughter, even a grown behind man,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's anything that I can do to help them, reach out to me. I won't
Yes,
put my
sir.
number out there, but look on Facebook, Derek Hinton. It's a bunch of Derek Hinton, but look for this big old head, and you'll see me. I
Yes,
got
sir.
my
What
picture on there.
you
If it's anything I can do,
you can always reach
just let
out
me
through the
know.
men. You can always reach out through the men's club
Yep,
Facebook page. So it's always open for comments. So just leave a comment, man. Somebody get in touch with you.
yep,
And that's like I said, that's why we do this, man.
yep,
Because even at 40, 50 years old, sometimes 30, somebody 30 years old that might be actually going through the stuff we done went through now. They might be going through it right now. Trust me, it helps to have a older dude that don't mind sharing some knowledge with you. Trust me on that. You
yep,
some guys, they in the middle about to make the biggest mistake of their life. If they just had
yep,
somebody they could talk to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why we here.
Fif-
That's why we are here.
50 is the new 70. If we keep this up, the way young men are dying.
Yeah,
yep.
I know, right? Yeah, it don't have to be. It don't have
Right.
to be. So, all right, we're gonna close on that note. You know, thank y'all for watching. The people that came on to watch, thanks for the comments. Hopefully next Tuesday we'll have a bigger crowd on here. We'll see. Like I said, we're gonna keep it open. If you can't get on for any reason, you can hit me on Messenger or I think my phone number's on there somewhere. You can call me. It ain't no big deal. Just let me know. Hey man, I can't get on. I can walk you through it and show you how to get on. But I want the whole crew on here at some point. I
Yep.
think we can get about 10 people on here at a time. So let's get it
And
in, fellas.
I don't know if Couture is still on, but we can show you some holiday safety tips for professional.
Yes,
Come
sir.
next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had
Come
told him
on,
that I
cuz,
wanted
come
to
through.
I wanted to interview him and his brothers, man. I think
Oh
all
yeah.
of them in law enforcement. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
cuz, I ain't forgot about you, man. I just ain't had time to get at you.
Yeah.
but yeah, Patrick, Mike, all y'all, man. Hey, join in next week, man. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna try to do. And we're gonna try to
Yeah.
stick
Tell
to it. So
DOT stop pulling my trucks over.
Taurus said, I got you, cuz.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Taurus said he got me, man. So yeah,
All right.
both of us, I just thought about it. No, both of us cousins.
Oh yeah.
I be forgetting
Yeah.
about that sometimes, man. I know we kid folk, but I be forgetting it. Your cousin, my cousin.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We're gonna call it a night. Thank y'all again for watching. Like I said, man, I want to get if I can hold 10, I want to get 10 on here. Tyrone said he will be on too. Okay, all right, y'all. So I'm gonna hold y'all to that, man. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna send the link out probably about 7:30 so we can get on and discuss what we're gonna talk about, and we'll get it in, man. We'll get it in. Y'all are
Hey,
All
make
invited.
right.
sure make sure
Okay.
you got make sure you got their contact, me.
Oh, yes, sir. I got you. Got you. All
Okay.
right, y'all. We're gonna holler. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Peace and soul.
There it is. All you need now is a train in the background.